Remember those brief, exciting few years when pop-up selfie cameras were all the rage? Smartphones with no notches, no hole punches, just a beautiful edge-to-edge display that made you feel like you were holding a piece of the future. For a moment, it felt like we had finally achieved the all-screen experience everyone was after. It seemed like the ultimate solution. No distractions, no interruptions, just pure screen real estate. So, if pop-up cameras offered everything we wanted in a display, why did they disappear almost as quickly as they arrived? Phones like the OnePlus 7 Pro exemplified this design, giving us a rare, immersive screen with no interruptions. This feature instantly set it apart from the crowd, offering a futuristic look that felt like the ultimate smartphone experience. Pop-up cameras came to represent a brief period where brands explored a bold new design path, one that kept your screen totally free from cutouts or blacked-out corners. But why did pop-up cameras even emerge in the first place? Back in 2017, the iPhone X introduced the notch, a cutout at the top of the screen that reduced bezel space but came at the cost of display real estate. While many users were intrigued by the futuristic look, others were less enthusiastic about losing part of their screen. Competitors jumped in, but not all were ready to make the same compromise. For those brands pushing the limits of a full-screen design, hiding the camera entirely was the answer. Thus, the pop-up camera was born. Pop-up cameras offered something different. When you needed a selfie, the camera would rise gracefully from the phone's edge. And when you were done, it would disappear, leaving you with a screen free from notches or cutouts. Aside from aesthetics, pop-up cameras had another unexpected benefit: privacy. With the camera physically hidden, users gained a sense of security, knowing there wasn't an active camera pointed at them. It gave people control over when their camera was active, addressing concerns about data privacy and unwanted surveillance. In a world of constant connectivity, this was a feature that felt as practical as it was appealing. But as cool as it was, the pop-up camera concept had its flaws. Relying on a moving part made it susceptible to wear and tear, raising questions about durability over time. Could it handle the wear of daily selfies, video calls, or accidental drops? Many people doubted it, and these concerns were valid. Moving parts are naturally prone to failure, and if the camera mechanism broke, the front-facing camera was rendered useless. There were even more challenges like water and dust resistance. Unlike a sealed device, phones with pop-up cameras couldn't easily achieve high IP ratings, which meant they lacked the durability against water and dust that many users now expect. This wasn't ideal for outdoor use or environments where a phone might be exposed to the elements. And because the motorized mechanism took up internal space, it impacted other aspects of the phone's design, especially battery life. The space dedicated to the pop-up camera meant sacrificing battery size or other features, which made the design feel less practical for everyday use. The industry soon shifted gears, aiming for a simpler approach with under-display cameras. This technology aimed to deliver the same full-screen experience but without the moving parts, providing durability and functionality all in one. While this tech was slow to perfect, it marked a turning point. Pop-up cameras, it turned out, were a temporary bridge, giving us a taste of a bezel-less future while the tech behind under-display cameras matured. In the meantime, consumer preferences evolved. Hole-punch cutouts became the new standard, blending so seamlessly into the background that most people forgot they were there. Apple's Dynamic Island took this concept even further, turning the cutout into a functional part of the interface. These new solutions reframed the camera cutout as a design feature rather than an obstacle, one that could add to the experience instead of distracting from it. While the pop-up camera has mostly disappeared, its influence lingers. The bold, full-screen experience it offered challenged manufacturers and paved the way for today's under-display camera technology. Brands are now pushing for seamless displays without moving parts, aiming to achieve what pop-up cameras started, but in a more durable, practical form. So, pop-up cameras might be out of the game now, but they really shook things up in smartphone design. Sure, they weren't perfect, but they showed us that a true all-screen phone was possible, even if it took a little creativity to get there. Pop-up cameras didn't stick around, but they sparked some major innovations that are still shaping the way our phones look and work today. They might be gone, but they'll always be a fun part of smartphone history. Proof that sometimes the coolest ideas are just stepping stones to even better tech.